Okay, I want to show you another video to get the next thing started. Have a look at this.
We want to kick off 2010 by introducing a truly magical and revolutionary product today. Tremendous breadth. What should we price it at? Well, if you listen to the pundits, we're going to price it at under $1,000, which is code for $999. When we set out to develop the iPad, we not only had very ambitious technical goals and user interface goals, but we had a very aggressive price goal, because we want to put this in the hands of lots of people. And just like we were able to meet or exceed our technical goals, we have met our cost goals. And I am thrilled to announce to you that the iPad pricing starts not at $999, but at just $499. $499.
All right, so why in that video does $499 sound like such a good price? All these people in the audience hooped and hollered and cheered and acted like this was just amazing. This is wonderful stuff. Why does it seem like such a good thing? Well, surely it's because he started with this much larger price, $1,000, right? And compared to having to have paid $1,000 for this product, now all of a sudden $499 doesn't sound too terribly bad at all. So I might react differently to how $499 sounds as a price. I might judge it to be a cheap price or an expensive price, not based on the product itself, but rather on the contrast of that price to some other price. Now, this isn't just about prices. This could be about all kinds of things. But in cognitive psychology, it's known as the contrast effect. That's when a person's judgment about something is influenced by the contrast between it and surrounding things. So have a look at these pictures again. So there's that checkerboard from earlier. And that is exactly what's going on with our perceptual capacities. Why is this sort of an optical illusion? Because of the contrast, the shading contrast between the difference in surroundings between the A square and the B square. That's exactly what's doing the work of making my eyes interpret those squares as different colors. The same is true in the example on the top right. The two orange dots are the same size. They are the same size. But the surrounding dots being bigger or smaller causes me to interpret that information differently. Here's a funny little example at the bottom too. But look, these examples can get very serious. Let's consider like a much more serious example. Here's a quote from a New York Times piece not too long after the war in Afghanistan had started. The American air campaign in Afghanistan, based on high-tech, out-of-harm's-way strategy, has produced a pattern of mistakes that have killed hundreds of Afghan civilians. On-site reviews of 11 locations where airstrikes killed as many as 400 civilians suggest that American commanders have sometimes relied on mistaken information from local Afghans. So in this little blurb, this little piece from this article, 400 civilians sounds like a lot of mistakes, especially when it is described as a high-tech, out-of-harm's-way strategy. 400 sounds like, wow, that is a lot of mistakes. That's a lot of accidental killings. But notice we could use that same exact number and just contrast it with different numbers. So look, here's some estimates for civilian deaths in different wars. Dresden, Germany in World War II, 300,000 people were lost. The Taliban alone, by themselves, during their reign of terror, have killed 3,000 to 7,000 civilians. In Hanoi, during the Vietnam War, 1,600 civilians were killed. And then in Afghanistan, 400. Does 400 strike you the same way here as it did before? Notice the number is the same. That is the same number of dead persons. It's not like more people died. It's not like fewer people died. It's still 400. But the way in which it's contrasted with other numbers can change how I judge whether it's a lot or a little. And look, this gets exploited all the time, especially by retailers, retail markets that want to sell us things. They know that if they put a price tag on something, $39, what if there was just a tag that said $39? They know that they can get me to be more likely to buy it if they add a second number to that tag. They say, hey, this used to be much, much more, $48, or this used to be, very typically we sell it for $48, but now we're going to sell it for $39. And now I judge $39 to be much lower than I did before. Have you ever noticed that they never reverse it? Think about that for a minute. Why don't they have tags where, like, well, yesterday it was on sale for $39, but today you'll pay $48? Why aren't there tags like that? Why aren't there tags like that? I mean, that could be true. Maybe they did have a sale yesterday. Now it's over. Why don't they update the tags and say, you missed the sale yesterday. This was $39. Now it's $48. Why not do that? Well, because $48 now seems much higher. I could have had it for much less. Now I don't want to buy it. This is the contrast effect. Okay, more cognitive psychology next time.